Hello, my name is Lubna Zurbi, and I'm giving my final presentation on Audi USA, which is a part of the Volkswagen company. Top company factors. The factors in which top companies are related are innovativeness, quality of management, long-term investment value, social responsibility to the community and environment, people management, quality of products and services, financial soundness, and wise use of corporate assets. Identification of issues. The area in which Audi is underperforming is innovativeness when compared to the competition. Audi has traditionally known as the alternative brand to the bigger Mercedes-Benz and BMW. They have been associated with all-wheel drive system. However, those are now commonplace among most of the brand in the market. Audi has become the most tail of the three German luxury brands, taking less styling and design risks. Audi has become the core which lacks some of the innovations provided by competitors such as Mercedes-Benz AI integration system. Ramification and consequences. The effects of the underperformance are far-reaching. For many customers, buying a car is an emotional decision not driven entirely by practicality. Being behind in technology makes it harder to sell these cars, since they lack the wow factor provided by competitors. Failure to improve in this area could lead to a brand that doesn't attract young buyers, eventually leading to staleness. Brand stagnation is very difficult to overcome, which then requires even greater risks down the road in order to lure back those buyers. It could also lead to large commitments later on in order to catch up with the competition. As you can see in the table on the slide, sales of Audi vehicles has dropped in every region with the exception to China. Effects of organizational structure, design, and culture. From an organizational perspective, Audi is part of the Volkswagen Group of auto manufacturers. Volkswagen also owns Porsche, Lamborghini, and other vehicle makes. The organization has over 1,400 executives and plants located all around the world. These are two divisions, automotive and financial services. 6 operating units include volume, premium, sport and luxury trucks and buses, components and procurement, and financial services. Each brand is managed independently with a separate board of managers. Audi is just one piece of a global organization with many competing interests. It is very difficult to maintain a culture of innovation with so many layers of management and different brands. The company's existing plans to keep brands separate has not been sufficient, resulting in a perception that Audi is merely a premium Volkswagen. This result was almost inevitable as corporate leaders see opportunity for short-term cost savings by sharing parts and designs between brands. The leaders do not appropriately weigh the long-term risk of devaluing the brands. Embodiment of conscious capitalism. When it comes to conscious capitalism, Audi has a very checkered story. Audi cars were involved in the emission scandal of 2015 that is still being resolved to this day. The company has expended over $30 billion in fines and settlements as a result of cheating on the vehicle emission tests. The company does claim to be educating regarding environmental issues, so it is possible new leadership is changing the organization in this regard. There is, however, little evidence that the company operates under a servant leadership concept. Instead, it is very bureaucratic and corporatized with many layers of management. Improvement plan. The first year of my plan is to change the organization, is to create a sense of urgency, showing the decline on sales and how the company could be online can be used to motivate employees to try a different approach. I would create a group of lower level managers to gain input from employees and champion change initiatives. Using that plan, we could form a strategy for changing the company's organization. Managers at every level needs to be encouraging and accepting input from employees. There also needs to be fewer level of management, and barriers between employees and managers need to be eliminated. Employee inputs need to be showcased along with how they are positively affecting the company. Goals needs to be long-term, but with short-term milestones that are non-financial. Using success stories show employee inputs to encourage more engagement from the workforce. Finally, we need to show why the change has resulted in success. The process outlined for changing the organization in itself represents a change in the organization. It focuses on empowering employees to change the direction of the company. Managing changes. Some challenges involved with this plan will be overcoming the complex and convoluted management structure of the company. Many managers will resist this coming change in favor of the status quo in order to preserve their position in the hierarchy. It can also be difficult to show executives how these changes produce long-term gains. Separate brands needs to be more independent with access to shared resources such as plants, but with less direct component in part sharing. It could be very difficult to implement a system mindset with an organization that is so large with competing goals. In order to solve some of these issues, the first suggestion is to reduce the number of executives and create a flatter organization with fewer barriers. We need to educate the top leaders on system mentality and conscious capitalism and keep applying pressure to implement these systems. We should provide evidence that the current path of the company is leading towards stagnation. A good example would be 1990s General Motors. Next, we need to get consumer feedback and really think about the type of brand we want to become. Strategies for leading teams and fostering collaboration. Happy, involved, and satisfied employees produce the best results. Likewise, companies that understand this concept produce the best products and services. Managers at all levels need to communicate effectively and with empathy. Leadership should be careful not to shut down ideas from employees. When approaching revenues, look at cost-saving ideas compared to revenue-increasing ideas. Which one will be more effective long-term? And finally, educating the executives and manager on different risk concepts is challenging. So the team needs to communicate with empathy. Thank you.